The multiplier effects of petrol subsidy removal continues to push prices of goods and services in Nigeria beyond the reach of the common man. The Senate has urged the federal government and the 11 electricity distribution companies discos to halt the plan for an increase in electricity tariff. The Senate noted that the poor must be allowed to breathe. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, is scheduled to embark on a nationwide strike beginning from 2nd of August. The NLC wants the federal government to reverse the removal of subsidy on petrol, which has compounded hardship of Nigerians. Let's start from this tariff thing. I think it will be biting. It will be taking too much from Nigerians if you remove the subsidy, you floated the naira, and then the power companies are saying that look, they're going to increase the tariff. They're going to make life unbearable.
The timing is not right at all. I'm not saying that they shouldn't.
To make their business profitable.
Yes, because we've been talking about
running out of loss.
Cost-reflective tariff. They've not achieved cost-reflective tariff since. And even the World Bank has been complaining that electricity subsidies should go. We have spent hundreds of billions on these electricity companies. How do you privatize your power infrastructure and still continue to give them money?
Is it everything they tell us that we pander to Jide? Huh? This Bretton Woods institution, is it everything they tell us to do that we too will do?
Because you are claiming you don't have money. You are going to them to
Who borrow money?
It's a very simple.
It's very. If you don't go to them, they won't tell you what to do.
If you are so generous, you are far more generous than me. And you are coming to me to say, Jide, I have not eaten today. And I can see evidence of your generosity. You feed other people. I'm not going to take you seriously.
And they cannot even pay back the loan you are giving him.
And Fashola, the former Minister of Works, and the former Vice President, they went abroad. They told them to their faces. That's why you already have money. You have money. You are doing subsidy. See how much you are spending on petrol subsidy? Why did our refineries die? It's because the alternate subsidy is there. Why would they even want to bother themselves? So it's not as if they are just recommending this to us. It's because they felt that, look, you are asking them for money. And you are spending trillions of naira on electricity subsidy alone. We've not talked about this one, no. So they just feel that, look, the subsidies have to go. Now, even if they didn't tell us, we were in a very big fiscal crisis. We were nearing a fiscal collapse before this subsidy removal. Yes, because we can't even, even creditors had begun to turn us back. China turned us down over a loan. We were spending more than 93% of our income on servicing debt. And when you service debt, it's not the totality of the debt, it's just the interest element. So let's face it, we know that these guys have issues with cost-reflective tariff. It's like you are selling a product at 18 naira and you spend 30 naira to produce. That had been there. And it's been suggested that we need to put so much money into that sector over a period of at least 10 years before we can achieve some level of equilibrium. But everyone knows that at this time, it's better we slow down. There are times when the Americans slow down. When it was clear that 9/11 was going to cause the death of American airlines, government had to bring in money to help them stay alive. Those airlines will have died because people were no longer flying. Why would you agree to fly when you are not sure that you will not be bombed?
Blow you up in the sky.
So these are the issues. I don't think that the Senate has done anything wrong by saying, look, come on, at this time, don't bring this. And what they are saying is, even now, let's talk about effective services. Don't just always talk about increase in tariff and the regulatory authority will simply agree to tariff. How about other issues? Give people meters. Stop estimated billing. They've been talking about it for years. They can't provide meters to all their customers.
Yeah.
So they simply slam this estimated billing at you. Whether you consume, it's just like in those days when we had NITEL, what they call access charge. I remember when in Kano, when on some occasions we didn't even use our line.
Yes, for months.
Yes, you still, the access charge, you still pay. So when you are now ready to pay your outstanding debt, you see that access charge had accumulated to the point that a good a portion of that debt is actually from access charge. So this estimated billing is similar to it. They don't want to know whether in a particular month you are disciplined, you didn't use electricity so much. They will just slam what they like.
Because the access charge is still there.
It's there.
It's also there in this one.
So they will just slam what they like at you. No, it's wrong. And they've told them do this. They can't provide meters. Government has even helped them by way of procuring meters. So that's in the sector that you deregulated. It's only the transmission leg that they've not privatized. But the discos and gencos are privatized. But we still spend money on them.
And these guys are in business to make money. And if you check the balance sheet of these discos and the gencos, you will discover that, man, the deficit is huge. Sometimes they even rely on bailouts from the federal government. Yeah.
Even the government is complaining.
Some of them are on receivership.
Yes, the government is complaining. Most of them can't even stay afloat. But like BQ said, the big question is between killing us and finding a way to provide some of these services, we must begin to ask questions. Because we've seen that one of the biggest challenges to businesses in Nigeria is power. There are people you find out, welders, who are working in the midnight because that is the only time they get supply in their areas. So, and then you expect a man like that to willingly come and pay you. It's going to take a lot. And that's where the challenge is. If for any reason people are able to justify the reason to pay certain money, they will. Look at the telephone we are using now. What we feel these days is, if company A does not serve me well, I move to company B. I move to company C or company C or D. But that's not what we're getting now. Because if I do my business, I don't have to go to the filling station to buy fuel. I don't have to call a repairer to come and work on my generator. Then I know that I'm coming to pay you. But I'm still not getting what I'm supposed to get in order to be able to pay you what you want. And that's where the challenge is. They've put people on different bands. If you get supply for 18 hours, you pay at this level. You get for 14 hours, you pay at this level. But even on those bands, people are not getting it. There are days in the estate where I stay, which they've had to cut to 14 hours when we don't have light. There are days you have poor service that you cannot even power your own equipment. You still have to go and put on the generator, which I had to do this morning because they couldn't charge the inverter.
Sunday will not even look.
The current will be low.
Low. It won't even charge the inverter.
Damage. You have appliances.
Those are the issues that they should be addressing very quickly. Because if I'm going to give you my money, I must have a reason for it. Yes. And not even at this time. If a welder takes a job and can do it in 1 week, and you provide him power to do it, he will pay your money so that more can come. But a man takes money from a client, he still has to go and look for a huge generator to power his equipment in order to do that. And then you are coming at the end of the month, putting service charge, putting this charge, and saying, because he doesn't have a meter, he must, I mean, it's insensitive. Not even at this time that we're having challenges, paying our way through our bills, our day-to-day existence. Petrol is one.
We are not stopping the discourse of them from increment, because it will stifle that sector if they are not able to make money to reinvest. But we are talking about just the timing.
Yes, you know, the discourse are the face of the sector, because they are the ones that we interface with. You don't see the generating companies. You don't see them. They are the ones who collect money.
Distribution, the code distribution.
Yes, they are the ones who collect money on behalf of everyone. So they are the ones that we hate. They are the ones that we abuse, including energy thieves, those who bypass meter. Those who bypass meter to energy thieves. They too will open their mouths and abuse.
And connect directing.
That's what I'm saying. They bypass their prepaid meters.
Yes.
That's energy theft.
Yes, that's a lot of areas in Lagos.
Yes, they are the noisiest when it comes to criticizing these people, abusing them. People don't pay. So, but the truth is, it's a sector that needs reflating. I don't know.
A lot of help.
I don't know for how long we can go on like this, because
I think over time
technically,
we're used to this subsidized way of living. Fuel is subsidized, electricity is subsidized, education is subsidized. So right now that government wants to be removing the subsidy, it's becoming very problematic.
No, people are not been used to feeding bottle economics. They've been used to feeding bottle economics.
They don't pay our taxes.
We are a nation that is broke. You know, we've been living a lie for so long. Deceiving ourselves that we are rich, we are this, we are that. Today, the facts are staring us in the face, and people don't want to agree. There are people who agreed, people praised Tinubu for removing subsidy. The moment the pains started staring them in the face, they started condemning him for removing subsidy. That's the height of hypocrisy, because you praised him for his courage and all that. At that time, what they were happy about was the fact that those people stealing us blind through subsidy, they have found a way to stop them. They've not imagined that as we speak now, this is not the terminal point.
No, it's not.
We can only pray that it's the terminal point.
That the international market,
anytime that it goes up in the international market, we will bear the consequences here. People have to realize they cannot say, okay, no more money set aside for subsidy payment, and price adjustment will happen in the international market, and you will still be blaming the government that, oh, why should they? Now look at how many they've licensed, more than 20 marketers now to be bringing in products. So if they bring in products, it is
only one has been able to.
Not that it's that lucrative.
Only one has been able to.
People want to bring in the product so that the monopoly of NNPC can go. Look at how people have suffered because it's NNPC. The airlines were begging, for example, that they should give them license at a time of scarcity because they didn't like the management of the whole thing by NNPC.
All right.
Let's even have more people bring in so that
more players.
The inefficiencies of NNPC will not show once others are involved in the whole thing.
All right, we'll take this break. When we come back, we'll talk more. Still, Journalist Hangout. We'll be right